Good morning, good afternoon to you, and welcome to the International Menopause Exchange. We welcome you. I don't know where you are linking us from, where you have connected us from. You can put it in the chat where you have been connecting, or where you have been connected, or where you connected us from. So if you're in the Middle East, you can put it in the chat. Wherever you are, please put it in the chat. Now, if you came here by yourself, I want you to take the link that you use to come here. I want you to take that link, and the many groups that you are a part, I want you to share that link with those individuals. I want you to share and welcome my YouTube followers. If you're on YouTube, we also have a link here that I'm going to drop in the chat. I'm going to drop the YouTube. So if you're unable to connect via the Zoom, you can also share this YouTube link that I have put in this chat, and I'm also putting it in the group chat. So we have three beautiful young ladies with us today that they are going to look at sleep, because we did a survey with you guys, and we found out that one of the main issue when going through menopause is that there are difficulty, you have difficulty getting to sleep. And so we want to make sure that you have the resources to do so. Just saying a quick welcome to Sister Angelina, Sister Catherine, Sister Galaxy, Sister iPhone, Janet Rose, welcome. Sister Jeanette, Sister Juliet Blaze again, Sister Keisha, Sister Marcella, Sister Maria, Sister Marva, Sister Nicola, Sister Odette, Sister Olive, Sugar Williams, welcome also Sister Veronica. And please share that link with someone. So I'm going to bring in our guest speakers, and they are the first one that I'm bringing. If I see their computer, they have to show themselves so I can bring them in. And so I'm going to bring in Sister Tanya. Sister Tanya, tell us a little about yourself, Sister Tanya, before I bring in the other presenter. Just a little bit about yourself.
Look here, Brother Courtney. I didn't know you were going to put me on the spot like that. But but okay, sis, you did. My name is Tanya, and I am a gospel medical missionary. I've been doing this for about 13, 14 years. And for about the last 5 years, I've been focused on women's health. So that is my focus, and it's really a love of mine. It's a passion of mine to do it, and I'm just so thankful that when you follow the Lord, you can never go wrong. So when He tells you something of what He wants you to do, just obey. Just surrender and obey, and I tell you, your life will never be the same. So I'm thankful for what I do and being able to share the knowledge that He has blessed me with others to others.
Amen, amen. Thank you for sharing, Sister Tanya. And I'm going to bring in Sister Sonia to expand on, answer the same question. So I'm adding Sister Sonia, and I'm going to remove Sister Tanya. Over to you, Sister Sonia. You can unmute yourself. And I am going to open the chat as you continue, as you answer that question.
So I'm Sonia Barnes Locker. I'm a naturopath nutritional therapist, but also a gut practitioner. But with all those titles, I am so much interested in gut health, because gut health is so important for the entire body. I've been on this journey myself, just like yourself, and it was a rough journey in terms of menopause, but the information is now readily available. You know, in the Bible, it talks about knowledge shall increase, and there's more and more knowledge about the body that God has given us, each and every one of us. And if we just have the awareness and the know-how and how to care for this body, then of course, some of these symptoms, which turns into illnesses, we would have avoided those. So really, it's a topic dear to my heart in terms of menopause and gut health, sharing with other women as well, so that we can be on this journey together. And I just want to thank brother Courtney again and team, because this is a humbling experience for me to share with you ladies, because it's a pathway, it's a journey, and we can hold each other hands as we continue this journey. Whether you're perimenopause, you're postmenopause, because we're still on that journey. And you know, there's just so much to share that we
So
for being here with us.
you're cracking up, Sister Sonia. So until you look at your connections, I'm going to remove you from the spotlight. Thank you for sharing thus far. And I'm going to add Sister Dr. Corrine Hall Brown, and she will answer the same question. Who is Dr. Brown? Go ahead, Dr. Brown. Over to you. Unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is, as Courtney says, I'm Dr. Corrine Hall Brown. I am an educator, a naturopathic wellness practitioner, and a community health advocate. And I am committed to restoring health through education and natural healing. And that's what I stand for. I am very, very passionate about natural health and educating others as to how they can work to support their bodies into support their body using natural remedies to overcome all the health all the different disease that that can implicate your life. So this is what I stand for, and this is just what I'm passionate about. And menopause is no exception. It is not a actual disease. It is just something that the body needs support in order to go through. So this is what we are here, and we are all about just supporting you so that you can overcome the stressors of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Dr. Al Brown, for that information. And to I don't want you to be selfish. You ladies that are on, and there might be one and two gentlemen that are on. I want you to share the information with your sister. She might not be at the menopause or post-menopause age, but down the road, if she can, if that person, that sister, that daughter, whoever might be able to put in place preventative or habits that will prevent that person from getting to that point, because the symptoms, all these symptoms comes with menopause when the body is not at the right point, then we are not having the best habits that will support menopause, because some countries, they don't have menopause. They don't know the name menopause. And they don't have the symptoms as we are having. Well, not me, but you ladies are having. But I am married. And so whatever my wife goes through, I go through it. I can't hide from it. And so in essence, I'm going through it too. And so, ladies, if you can share the link, and if you have difficulty getting on Zoom, we are also on YouTube, and I'm looking at myself over there on YouTube. And so today we're going to talk about sleep, because when we did that survey the last time, we found out that majority of the ladies that are going through menopause, they have difficulty sleeping. And so the panelists are going to look at how menopause affect sleep. We're going to look at natural remedies, and then we're going to dress back and look at what you can do in general when it comes on to menopause. We're also going to look at questions and answers. We're going to do question and answers, and this is where you can participate in that. If you had gone through, or you were going through difficulties, for example, sleeping, then you can share with us what did you do. What did you do, and share it with your other sisters that are here. And so, whether you are just starting or notice wired but tired nights, or you are in the thick of hourly wake ups, you aren't alone and you aren't losing it. Menopause is often described as a second rebirth, right? But while the first one was about ramping up, this one is about recalibrating. For many women, sleep is the first thing to get hit. It's frustrating cycle. The lack of sleep makes daytime irritability worse, and the daytime stress makes nighttime sleep harder to find. You ladies know, and I know when your wife is up, it affects the man also, because the man is also up. And so on that note, we're gonna bring in Sister Tanya. Sister Tanya, Sister Tanya, eyes open wide. I think Sister Tanya is not ready. So let me bring in Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown? Dr. Brown open wide. Oh, wow. And I don't have Sister Sonia. I know Sister Sonia has difficulties. So Sister Tanya, would you like to come forward?
Sonia here. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Oh, you're back? Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring in Sister Sonia. She's back. And if you have to close your video and just open your mic to maximize your connection. So over to you, Sister Sonia.
So do you want me to share who I am again? Because you missed stuff. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We got everything. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you. And as I talk directly now to my sisters here on Zoom, could you put in the chat if you're having difficulty sleeping? Quick question. How was your sleep last night? We're here to share with each other. For those on YouTube, I'm not able to see what you're posting there yet, but yeah. What's your sleep like? Put in the chat, yes, I'm having difficulty sleeping. You can say yes, or you can raise your hand, whichever is comfortable for you to do. Because I have some information to share with you today. And, as a team, this topic is quite huge. So we'll be going to the depths of sleep and how it impacts our lives on a day-to-day basis. We all need to sleep, right? Yes. So someone says on and off, daily insomnia. Okay, great. So what we have in store for you today, I hope at the end of the session, you'll be able to stop putting the dots together, but also start taking action, because with action brings transformation. All right. So let me just share some times. Yeah, I'm up at 2 a.m. All right. Yeah, that 2 a.m. when you're lying there and not able to sleep and you're saying your prayers, and eventually your day starts because you start thinking, okay, what do I have to do next? What am I doing next this morning? And the work process starts. And yeah, okay. I love this. Thank you for sharing. Keep putting it in the chat. Keep putting information in the chat. Then we can pick up from there. Yes, and we go to the toilet. The toilet breaks. And sometimes the toilet breaks becomes more than just 1 or 2 times in the night. It's sometimes 3 or 4 times. And here's the thing. Sometimes when we take some herbs, all right, we're not sure what these herbs are doing. And so we hear about taking some herbs before you go to bed, but which one is it right for you? Because perhaps those same herbs are increasing your toilet trips. Something to bear in mind. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you quickly as time moves on. So let me share my screen. Keep putting in the chat. I do appreciate you taking the time out to write in the chat. Okay, let me share my screen now. Right. Okay, here we go. Right. So we're talking about when rest feels like a distant memory. And it's a question for you. When was the last time you woke up in the morning and I felt rested? I slept and I felt rested, because sometimes sleep is not directly rest. They're quite close to each other, but I'll explain why. Okay, can you see my slide?
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
It's good. You're good.
I'm good now. Okay, great. And please pray for me because the internet is not liking me today. All right. So when rest feels like a distant memory, and we're going to break this down. What's happening in the body? Sometimes people say, well, sleep is a luxury. I can't afford it, right? But you're not alone, because this exhaustion is real. But God gave us rest. He wants us to rest. When he made this body of ours, rest was part of it. We know we work 6 days a week, and the seventh day is a rest, Sabbath rest. And that rest with close connection with him, but it's putting tools down, put all the work down, because we need to rest. But when we talk about rest, people say, well, I go to sleep. Am I rested? Now, I can pick up on the chat just now. It says, I'm waking up. My sleep is light. It's fragmented. Here's what is important for us to also to bear in mind. We have a cycle every night, okay? And there were, at one point, research says that there were like 5 stages. But now, even the American studies are saying now down to 4 cycles. And we need to have these cycles throughout the night, at least 5 to 6 of these cycles, in order to sleep and feel rested. So a lot of us are sleeping during the night, but we're not feeling rest, because there's a process from REM sleep from stage 1 to stage 4. And 61% of menopausal women, they report significant sleep disturbances. So ladies in the chat here, we're not alone. You're not alone, all right? And so it's a very, very common situation that we face. And so a lot of us will say, well, isn't it just about hot flashes, sleepless nights, always just the menopause you're going through? Never mind, my auntie went through that, my mom. Let's just ride this. But there's more to it than that. So we have REM sleep, stage 1, non-REM sleep, non-REM sleep, stage 2, but we want to get to the REM sleep, that restorative sleep, the restorative sleep where we can then, that's when the body detoxifies itself. It does a lot more during that phase. It's a question I always ask individuals who I'm working with. Can you remember your dream? Because we dream at night, but can you recall that dream? And usually during that REM stage, that's when we are dreaming, right? The rapid eye movement sleep. And God designed our body to rest. He did. But, individuals say, well, why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult for me to sleep? Well, there's a season. We go through the season. We have 3 sections in terms of phases in terms of women. We have the premenopause, the perimenopause, menopause, as in that year where we don't have a cycle, and then we have postmenopause. God has designed it that way. And the season, though they can be challenging, they shouldn't be challenging. And that's why I say there are some other women in the world who don't then face what we sometimes face. There's a reason for that. So yes, menopause seen as a decline, but menopause is a part of God's ordained. He ordained for the body. It's not that your body is broken. It's a season that we're going through. It's after the childbearing stage of life, we then move nicely into the postmenopausal phase. And we can reflect, we can do more with our families or grandchildren. It's a natural path that us women should be happy to go through. But then we say to ourselves, okay, so why am I not sleeping? It's the menopause. Why am I not sleeping? Why do I find it hard to sleep? And a lot of us is saying, well, estrogen or hormones change. And it's out there saying, yes, estrogen and progesterone. And yes, they do. There's a decline there. But it's also only 20%. 20% of the estrogen and the hormones, reproductive hormones, that are contributing to the sleep or lack of it. 20%. Menopause not to be seen as my body's broken, my body's not working, everything else is happening to me because I'm going through this phase. I want us to start looking at it from a different perspective. Yes, it's a fragile time we're going through, but the estrogen and those hormones, they were buffers. And that's why estrogen is such a beautiful hormone, progesterone as well too, but they get the blame. But they shouldn't be blamed. They are just there to uncover what's already happening to the body. They then expose what the body is going through. And I say again, hence why some other races of different parts of the world, they don't then experience what most of us will experience. We have various different systems in the body to work with. We have the gut, adrenal glands, and individuals say, okay, because I'm in the menopause now, my estrogen is gone. The body's only shifting from one organ to the next. So the estrogen will then move from the ovaries back into the adrenal glands. So adrenal glands needs to be front loading, I would say. Needs to be really looking at adrenals. What's my adrenals doing? Those two little organs that sit on top of the kidneys. And that's why kidney health is so important too during this phase that we're transitioning into. Then we have the thyroid. And I'm just quickly going through these because these are great big topics on their own. All right. But in interest of time and the purpose of this presentation, I'll just highlight these. Then, of course, we have the immune system. A lot of individuals say my immune system needs boosting because there's a lot that's happening there. This inflammation that's happening there. There is inflammation in the skin, all different parts of the body. But then, of course, we have the brain. But these systems are already there. And I see these systems here as tools. Because once we use these tools and looking after these tools, we can then have a smooth transition into the next phase, which is called the post-menopausal phase. So again, the estrogen and the progesterone, they are just like buffers. They're there to support us. And it's the reason why you probably identify, now my estrogen is low, now my progesterone is almost gone. I'm then experiencing all these symptoms. Where did they all come from? All of a sudden, I'm experiencing this, my itchy skin, and the list goes on in terms of the symptoms that we experience. But they are buffers, because when the buffers are gone, of course, mentioned about the thyroid, disrupted function, we have the fatigue, the weight gain, the insomnia. And these are often missed. And what we then do is say, oh, it's the menopause. But what about these systems? Are they being nourished? Are they being nurtured? Chronic inflammation rises during this phase as well. The gut, of course, we know the gut microbiome. The diversity is so crucial, but reduction in estrogen will also cause inflammation in the gut. We have leaky gut syndrome. And, leaky gut syndrome, we know exactly what happens there in terms of inflammation in the body, the aches and pains. And then you connect the dots now to say, okay, it's very difficult for me to get off the bed in the mornings. My back hurts, my knee hurts. All that is happening because the buffer has been moved away. Not that estrogen is so bad, but it's a buffer. So it shows up exactly what's happening in the body at that time. And of course, our blood sugars. And a lot of us, as we wake up in the morning, that 2, 3, 4 o'clock awake, oftentimes our blood sugar levels are off, insulin resistance. These are some of the systems that we can say, oh, that's what's happening to my body. Hence, I'm showing up with these symptoms. When we look at the hormones of estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, and just remember, cortisol is called king of hormones. Cortisol will always rise to the top. That stress hormone surges, and it surges at night. Now, usually, cortisol hormone is supposed to be dormant, very low at night, and or melatonin hormone, which is then made as a precursor for serotonin. And you move back, the serotonin is made where 90% of serotonin is made in the gut. So if there's gut issues going on, we know that there is an issue there already where that will impact on your sleep. And this is also in addition to the estrogen. So as you're coming into the different phases, the message is boost these organs, these systems. Ensure that we are looking after ourselves. So then we have a smooth transition into the menopause and postmenopausal phase. I want to also draw to our attention, why is it difficult for us to is the brain? What's going on up there? So because we just seen where there's hormones that create like a perfect sleep, all right? But in addition to that, we have the brain control center. And this is where the hypothalamus and the hippocampus, these are vital for sleep and memory. And one would say, oh, they come into contact now with the menopause. What is going on with them? Estrogen loss directly affects these areas. Yes, they do. But what the brain is doing is just trying to adapt to the changes, which is so natural for the body to go through. The changes are inevitable. We as a host or individuals, we just need to know exactly what to do at each stage. And so understanding this hormonal change will help us to get rid of the sleepless nights. And sleep is just one of them. But sleep is so important. The sleep connection is crucial. Because, of course, the hippocampus requires deep REM sleep to function. And when that doesn't happen, that's when triggers or hot flashes, they disrupt sleep, the hot flashes, the temperatures in the body, everything is off. And especially if you're perimenopause, the perimenopause phase will be different from the postmenopause. And I say this again, what you do in the perimenopausal stage of life will be slightly different to what you do for the menopause and postmenopause, because the body's at various different stages then as well. Oftentimes we lump it all together as one, but there's a differentiation. In the interest of time, I won't dissect much here, but perhaps we come back again at a later date to expand on this and how this would look for you as an individual who's sitting here. I'm in the perimenopausal stage. I'm in the age between 40 and 48 years old. There's someone else here who is in her 50s, 56, 57. She is more early postmenopause. And you have early postmenopause and late postmenopause, and it varies. And hence why we need to understand where we are in the process, so then we can you see my screen?
Yeah, no, we are seeing you. So yes, so you're seeing me. That means we run out of time.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Right. So I'm going to wrap it up quickly now. Yes. So yes. And so we have the wakeful chemical, and we need to also put into the pot also histamine. Where does histamine plays a part in this? And histamine can keep you up at night. So sometimes, and I'm swiftly closing up now, histamine, and I'll move quickly into the second brain, which is our gut, what's going on in the gut at that time, which is very different to what will happen in the gut as if you're a perimenopausal woman or premenopausal woman. Also, sleep apnea is a silent epidemic in women. And you probably cannot see this slide here. Let me just quickly show you what I'm talking about here. And I will just wrap up quickly. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Time is against us. Yes. Yes. So epidemic sleep apnea is crucial, ladies, and a lot of us are not realize that we have sleep apnea, and that's a whole other presentation on that. So when your body is exhausted, of course, it affects our spiritual life. And I will want to stop here and hand over to my next speaker.
Thank you, Sister Sonia, for sharing that. You know, I have learned something new, that we tend to group the three phases together, but we shouldn't group them together because there are different phases. And so understand that, ladies, that information is strength. What we know can better able to, because we might be trying the same thing that we did for for the moment and for the future, and it's you wonder, oh, it's not working. Why is it not working? Is it because they're using the wrong information? So thank you, Sister Sonia, for that short presentation, and we know that we're going to expand on sleep, because sleep affects everything that we do in life. So thank you, Sister Sonia. Sister Tanya, where are you? We have Sister Tanya that we're going to look at some natural things that she can do, if I can find it. Where are you, Sister?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
All right, so let me spotlight you, Sister Tanya. And so we have Sister Tanya that we're going to hand off the other part of the presentation, where she will be looking at natural remedies that you can do to better able to sleep when it comes at night. Over to you, Sister Tanya.
Thank you, Brother Courtney. Good morning, ladies. You know, Sonia said so much pertinent information. I mean, she just gave a lot of information that I could really just piggyback on what she said because it was such good information. But I know time is limited, and we have a lot of information that we can share with you on this topic. But one thing I would like to say, is that, menopause, and Sonia touched on this as well, is not just about, that estrogen changing, that estrogen, the form of the estrogen changes, estrogen progesterone drops. It's not just about that, because this is going to affect your whole system. All right. It's not just hormonal, but it's also microbial, meaning that it's going to affect your gut. As Sonia said, it's huge on the gut. And then also it is metabolic. So that's where you're going to get, your insulin resistance from. That's where you're going to get your inflammation from. That's where you're going to get your heart issues from. So it's microbial as well as it being metabolic. But what I want to focus on today is natural remedies. What are some natural things that you can do to help your system? So let me share my screen. Let's get this up. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to kind of move this out of my way so I can see. So you see I've got some natural remedies there. Adaptogenic herbs is huge. They're going to help with the stress because, as Sonia said, that cortisol rises. So you need adaptogenic herbs like rhodiola, lemon balm, ashwagandha. Those are herbs that can help to lower and help that anxiety. It can help to calm you, and it can help you to sleep. Okay. Magnesium. Magnesium is huge. I have a lot of foods on here because few foods are huge. Yes, you can take supplements. Supplements are good. But I look at supplements as a bridge to like get you from one point to the other. It's not that we should be taking supplements for the rest of our lives. I don't see that. I just see it as a bridge to get us through a certain transitional period. But you can get magnesium from pumpkin seeds, from spinach, from almonds, all these plant based foods. Um, Soy, soy can help you with your estrogen. Flaxseed can help you with your estrogen. And then, of course, being consistent with your sleep, having a sleep schedule, being consistent with it, and walking. I really, really, really want to get into walking. Right, my thing is not moving if I want it to. Okay, here we go. All right, so green, leafy, and cruciferous vegetables are huge for just in general, but they really help for menopause and sleep because they help to balance that estrogen progesterone cycle. Okay, it helps to promote healthy estrogen metabolism. Your cruciferous vegetables are like your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage. They contain sulforaphane, and sulforaphane is huge in helping your body to detox that excess estrogen. I did a presentation last week on the gut microbiome and estrogen, and I was talking about those detox pathways. So you have the body gets rid of that excess estrogen through three different phases. The first two are through your liver, and the last is through your gut. So if your liver is out of balance, then it's not going to get rid of it. It's just going to recirculate it back into the system. If you've got problems with your gut, it's not going to get rid of it. It again is just going to get recirculated back into the system. So you want to be able to make sure that you're eating the right foods because the right foods can help you to sleep. So these veggies offer magnesium, calcium, potassium. These all help to lower your cortisol and help with sleep. They also help to reduce inflammation. Why? Because they're rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants is just a big word for saying it's against oxidation. It keeps your cells from dying. All right. So these greens combat inflammation that can worsen your hot flashes or your stress and your insomnia. And I like the fact too that they brought out that these different phases, you go through different things through these phases. Most of your perimenopause is where you're going to have your hot flashes and your night sweats. All right, you're not going to have a lot of that in postmenopause. Now, some ladies do, but again, everybody is different. But just overall, that's mainly going to be in perimenopause. Postmenopause, ladies, we got to look out for bone health. We got to look out for heart health. All right. And so these vegetables also help to support liver detoxification. They contain fiber. Fiber is huge for the gut. Fiber is huge to be able, you're going to feed those short chain fatty acids, all right, that the body produces from the fiber. It comes from the fiber that your body really needs in these phytochemicals that help the liver to process these hormones. All right, so they're rich in vitamins A, C, K, folate. Folate is huge. All right, with that, and that folate has to be methylated, and that's a topic for another conversation. But that is huge. All right, and the magnesium does what? It's going to help to calm you. It's going to help you to sleep. Sprouts are huge. Sprouts are high in antioxidants. Sprouts contain fiber, so they're going to help your gut. All right, and they aid in that estrogen metabolism, and they help your blood sugar. They're going to help your blood sugar. They're going to help with inflammation. All right, and they're going to help the body with the detox, to help the body detox pathways to be better. And they contain sulforaphane. Now look at how much more sulforaphane is in sprouts versus in broccoli. When you eat broccoli, you got to eat 1.5 pounds of mature broccoli in order to be able to get the same sulforaphane content in 1 ounce of broccoli sprouts. So sprouts are huge, and anybody can sprout. All right, all you need is a jar, and you can sprout something on your counter. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of space for a garden. But sprouting is huge to be able to get the nutrients that your body needs. And so, what are some other things that we can do? Have diverse plant foods. We need to eat different foods. I've said this before. We tend to, we say that, okay, we're plant based, which is good. We should be, but we tend to eat the same thing every day. That doesn't have different nutrients in it. We need different nutrients in the body in order for, these plant foods to be able to do the things that they need to do in the body. So try to eat more a diversity of plant foods, right? Strength training and walking. And I really want to get into the walking. That is really good. If you can walk in the mornings, that's even better because that morning sunlight is very good. It's going to help the serotonin because, as Sonia said, 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. Did you also know that 90 to 95% of your melatonin is made in your gut? So it's serotonin in the daytime, right? So it helps to keep you calm and relaxed in the daytime. And then it converts at night from serotonin into melatonin. And that's what you need for your sleep. And even for those, you need tryptophan because tryptophan is a precursor for the serotonin. So you got to have the tryptophan in order to be able for your body to make the serotonin. And you can get all of this in your foods. All right. So what are some herbs that you can take? Passion flower. Passion flower helps to calm the nervous system, helps to ease anxiety. Valerian root will help with sleep. And of course, chamomile is a gentle part of a relaxation. Chamomile, that herb will help your body to rest. And we talked about adaptogenic herbs already, like the ashwagandha. And then you can also take some tart cherries are good. They're natural in melatonin. So they're good to help your body to make the melatonin that you need. All right. And then look at grapes, strawberries, pistachios. All of those are great foods that naturally contain melatonin. And then look at the foods that are rich in tryptophan that can help your body make the tryptophan, which helps your body to make the melatonin, which is pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, of course, tofu, lentils, spirulina, chickpeas, uh, and then look at the melatonin for goji berries. Goji berries are very, very good to help the body to balance estrogen. I know I had a friend and she was telling me she was going through, that could have been her perimenopausal phase because she said she had a lot of, night sweats and hot flashes and all she did was eat goji berries. And the next thing you know, it went away. All of those went away. So these foods are very, very good to help as well. So now let's look at exercise because exercise is important and we don't do enough exercise, ladies. But exercise is wonderful to help your body to sleep. The morning walks help to regulate your circadian rhythm, helps to boost that serotonin, helps to increase your energy. Stretching helps to lower that evening cortisol, reduces the muscle tension and eases aches and cramps. Cycling, I know sometimes we might think we too big, to get on the bike, but cycling is very good. It helps to improve your cardiovascular health. It boosts your circulation. It reduces your anxiety. And swimming is another one that is very good that can help with your muscles. It helps you to relax as well. And then look at strength training. It helps to lower that stress hormone, which is that cortisol, reduces bone loss, and that is important and very important for us postmenopausal ladies. And it helps to support that blood sugar balance. Now look at walking. Walking is one of the most powerful yet underrated tools for supporting women in menopause and postmenopause. I'm telling you, ladies, walking works. When I went, it's such a simple natural remedy to do, but it's so powerful. It is very underrated. I noticed that when I walk, and I get a good 45 minutes to an hour walk, my sleep is much better. My heart health is much better. I don't have the palpitations. I don't feel the anxiety even when I walk. So, walking is very, very good. So, what does it do? Of course, it helps to improve our mood and our brain function. Again, it boosts that serotonin, the dopamine, the endorphins. It helps to reduce anxiety. It sharpens our cognitive clarity, it helps us to think better. All right, and we know that brain fog is another thing that comes along with menopause. Helps to improve our insulin sensitivity because cortisol goes up, and with that cortisol, you automatically going to have more inflammation, which is insulin resistance. So with the insulin sensitivity is what we need is going to help to reduce the blood sugar spikes, decrease our abdominal fat tendency. That's that visceral fat. because that's where that estrone, that different type of estrogen, is produced. Is produced in those fat tissues, right? And that automatically in itself has more inflammation. It's going to help to support our bone density, weight bearing exercise. That's why you need to do a little bit of strength training. You don't have to lift 40 pounds, ladies. 10, 15 pounds is good. And you can build up to that. You can start out with two. That's fine. Walk with 2 pound weights. If you're working out in your home, then you can start out with two. You can move up to five. You can move up to 10. But you don't need a lot of weight to help to strengthen those bones. But that works too, and that's going to help too with especially when you're doing floor exercises. It helps with the pelvic muscle, all right, because you need to strengthen that muscle. So that is another thing that's really good that you need to do. It helps to reduce osteoporosis risk. Of course, we talked about the belly fat and then the heart health, which is so huge. It helps to improve the circulation. Like I said, it lowers that blood pressure and it reduces your cardiovascular risk, because your cardiovascular risk when you get into postmenopause is the number one killer of women is heart disease, and it comes from menopause. All right, so it's so important for us to take care of that heart health. And then the gut health helps to improve digestion, reduces bloating, it balances the microbiome, because that is so important to have that microbiome balance. Because as Sonia said, when that buffer of that estrogen and progesterone are removed, it does just reveal other things. And it also has, it's kind of like a domino effect, because now one thing is out of balance, it can easily throw the other things out of balance. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it can. And most of us, it does. So a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals significantly improves our blood sugar control. Even 20 to 30 minutes can significantly improve your mood chemistry. Just every 20 to 30 minutes. It calms the stress response instead of amplifying it. It activates that parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the calming system. I look at the parasympathetic system as turning things off. All right, the sympathetic turns it on. That makes it more heightened. The parasympathetic is going to turn it off. The two are always supposed to balance each other. So while strength training is ideal for bone, walking is foundational. You got to walk. We have got to, and walking, to the car and back is not walking. We need to be intentional about walking. Get out every 20 to 30 minutes a day and walk. So what is it going to result in? Less inflammation, healthier gut barrier, better metabolism, and balanced hormones. So morning sunlight plus walking, that's going to equal a powerful circadian reset. So it's going to help your circadian rhythm just in itself, especially walking in the daytime. That morning sunlight really helps. It helps to improve that deep sleep. It increases that natural melatonin at night. And then the heart risk for the disease of heart risk goes up after menopause due to that estrogen declining. So it's one of the most protective habits long term. And you can always walk, I mean, even when it's cold outside, put on a jacket and just, start walking. Your body is going to warm up. It's going to help to improve your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, right? It's going to help to improve your glucose uptake into your muscles. While strength training is ideal for the bones because you need it, but walking is foundational. Walking is one of the most protective habits long term. So walking is really, really good. We need to walk. Listen to this quote. It says, morning exercise and walking in the free, invigorating air of heaven or cultivating flowers, small fruits and vegetables is necessary to a healthful circulation of the blood. And Leviticus 17:11 tells us what? That the life of the flesh is in the blood. Is the surest safeguard against colds, coughs, congestion of the brain and lungs, inflammation of the liver, the kidneys, and the lungs and 100 other diseases. This is just talking about exercise. So go out and exercise every day, even though some things indoors have to be neglected. And when I saw that quote, I went, ouch, because I exercise, but I don't always go out and exercise every day. And I know that it's important. So we gotta do it. We gotta even though some things indoors have to be neglected, we just have to leave them, and we have to go outside and get our exercise. And walking is one of the most best exercises that you can do to help the body. So again, 20 to 30 minutes is good. 20 to 45 to me is even better. In the morning sunlight exposure if you can. And then of course that digestion walk, that 10-minute walk after meals. So walking outdoors for added stress reduction. So if you're at a job where it's stressful, that walking is going to really help. Because I know some days I'm sitting here and I literally just sit at this computer all day long researching things, right? And I have to tell myself, all right, I got to get up. I got to go outside. And it just really helps to relieve that stress. Consistency is your key. All right. And you can build up to the intensity. It doesn't have to be intense at first. If you just feel like you can only do 5 or 10 minutes, then you do that until you can, but keep being consistent at it. And you're going to notice that you're going to be able to be more intense about it. You're going to be able to walk longer for longer periods of time. And then the last thing I want to talk about is um, water. I want to talk about water.
It's okay. It's okay. Let her go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to stop? I can stop though.
Keep
I can
going.
stop.
Keep
No,
going.
no, I don't want
No,
to take
keep
anybody else's
going. Talk
time.
about water. Go. Go
No, no,
ahead.
no, no, no. I'll stop. I'll stop right here. But water is important. But as you can see it on the screen, your human body is mostly made up of water. So you've got to replenish that water on a daily basis. So it's so important for us to be able to make sure that we are drinking our water.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Sister Sonia. No, you see, I have the role of stopping these
No,
ladies.
I
These
appreciate it. I
ladies
appreciate
can talk because the Lord has blessed them with so much information. And so when they look at a point, they look at all the different point. They open the point and look inside it and look in around the point. And so I like that's why ladies, you are being blessed. You will not find this information anywhere else. And so take the moment to share the link. Thank you, Sister Tanya, for that information. I know that you could go on for hours upon hours upon hours. And so because of that extent, you ladies, 59 of you ladies, are being blessed by extra time. So we're going to move beyond the 12 o'clock because we're going to bring in Dr. Brown, and then we're going to bring in the team, and then we will have the opportunity for you to ask questions. So thank you, Sister Tanya. And Dr. Brown, where are you? Let me see you so I can bring you into the chat. Where are you? Where are you? Put your hand up. Let me see you. Make sure that your camera is open. And okay, all right. So I'm going to bring you the spotlight. So over to you, Dr. Brown. And let me remove myself.
Okay, so we have discussed so far. We look at gut health. We look at a host of information that relates to why sleep is disrupted. We look at the hormonal issues. We look at diet. We look at herbs. We look at exercise. We look at hydration when it comes to mental health. So we are going to I think when it comes to sleep during menopause, because that's where our focus is, we're focusing on sleep during menopause. And we look at all those different variables. So what I am going to do, I am going to pick up from where Sister Tanya or Sonia just left off. She was talking about hydration, which is one of the therapy that supports sleep, hydration. And she had an image there that speaks to the amount of water that makes up our body. Our body is made up of 70, 80%, 75% water. And when God created the earth, He created a lot of water. If you notice, we have more water on the earth than we have land itself. So hydration is critical because at this time, and one of the big thing that we talk about when we talk about menopause is hot flashes, and we get up in these sweat in the night. It is we're using up or losing a lot of water. So hydration is really, really a big issue when it comes to menopause. And this is what I want to add to what was said before. We tend to become dehydrated a whole lot because if you notice, your skin get dry, your lips get chappy, and this is one of the variables because of the way our thermostat within our body is working. That is within the thyroids. We have a thermostat that literally works there to regulate the hormone, the heat or the temperature of the body. And sometimes that because of the level of estrogen that is available, not the hormonal balance is not there, and that creates a overeating of our body. And estrogen helps regulate fluid balance, and that usually drop very low. So all the areas within our body become dry. We get dry skin, we get dry eyes, we get vaginal dryness, we get joint stiffness, we get brain fogs and fatigue. And this is why it is so important that during menopause we drink a lot of water. And when we drink water, we need to ensure that the water we're drinking is clean. And I'm going to recommend again that we try to avoid drinking water from plastic bottles because these are putting a lot of microplastic within our body, and these microplastics within our body is creating havoc. It is causing us to experience menopause in one of the worst ways that we can experience it. So it's very important that you filter the water, use your charcoal filter, filter your water, pour it in your stainless steel bottle, and travel with your water because you must drink water. I know it's convenient for us to have to just go out and get the bottle of water, but I'm going to recommend that you stop drinking water from that. Not only if you're at that stage, it's just not healthy for you. So try to drink water that you filter using your charcoal filter. And if possible, I recommend you double filter the water just for extra security so you don't get that much microplastic, which is causing havoc with the hormone that is within our bodies. Now, we use we must take in the maximum amount of water that we should take for our body weight. And if you're weighing 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water on a daily basis. So that is in ounces. So just make sure that you're drinking that and some, and that will support your body, support keeping you hydrated, and it will help you to sleep better because your mouth doesn't get dry, the respiratory tract doesn't get dry if you're well hydrated while you're sleeping. Now, one of the things that is recommended is that you use warm water you in the morning with your lemon juice, and this is widely recommended not only if you're going through menopausal stage, but at any point in your life because it's a powerful flush for the liver. And this is where a lot of toxin is stored, and the liver needs to be working optimally to regulate your blood sugar level. And if the blood sugar level is regulated, then you will have less stress in when it comes to menopause. The extra cortisol that is produced when you're stressed out, and that extra cortisol definitely will float around and start plaquing in your blood vessel and reduce your circulation and cause different issues to happen to you while you are going through this. Now, when we hydrate, we do lemon water, we drink clear, fresh, pure water. We can also do herbal teas, as was mentioned. We must try to avoid anything that is caffeinated. We can do mild herbal teas, and things like red clover is a very good tea to drink. You could even use that as an infusion in water, red clover, because it is a very mild herb and it is good just for maintaining balance in the world that we live. We live in a very toxic world where we have so many other variables beside the fact that we're going through this hormonal journey. We are also faced with glyphosates. We are faced with that in our foods. We are faced with the pollution in the atmosphere. We are faced with the microplastic, which we're not only drinking, but we're breathing in. And these are things that implicate our health and well being. I would recommend that you remove all plastics, get rid of everything that is plastic out of your household, and try to use glass containers as the next best thing. We need to ensure that our water is mineral rich. If you're not hypertensive and have a problem with your sodium regulation or your asthma regulation, where you have a tendency to have too much sodium. But what I would recommend is that you could add some Himalayan salt to your water to mineralize the water, or you can add Celtic salt. You could also add trace minerals. You could buy trace minerals online that will support the minerals or support your body, because we become deficient in minerals when we go through these phases. You could add cucumber and mint infused water, in the spring, or some places throughout the world, throughout the year. We have these things in abundance, in fresh proportion, where we can add these to our water, make infused water. We can do hibiscus water, and some people could tolerate ginger of a way. If you're going through serious hot flushes, sometimes it can make you a little bit hotter. So ginger is something that you could use in moderation. We also have, besides hydration, which is key and critical. I know it becomes difficult for some people to drink water, especially when it's cold. They don't feel the need to drink water. Now, I would recommend that you do everything within your power to drink the water, because it does support how well you sleep, especially if you're running a heat during the winter season, and if it's the summer and you're doing air condition. Either way, it dries you out. So it's recommend that you drink as much water as your body need, and some, so you can have that support. So lifestyle that will support, that is one thing you can do, that is hydration. Now we have social connection, community. This is very important. A lot of people, when they are going through these phases, they have a way of isolating and separating from people. It is recommended that you do, some people do volunteer work. Make sure you connect. It's if you're working online at home. You want to have a social life. You need to go out. You need to meet people. You need to talk. So there are environments for this. People work in the food pantry, they volunteer in different community activities, they go to the gym, just different things that will support, or you have a community of people that you're working with. You could do community gardening, faith, you go to church, have mentorship, like work with people, make connection and try to maintain them. Volunteer service, wherever you are, there ought to be something that you can volunteer to do, that creates this sense of community, and it support your mental health. It is a part of what people do for their mental well-being, because a lot of people have a way of isolating, and if you don't have that social connection, it makes it a little bit worse. So it works out when we do this social connection. If you're going through serious issues where menopause is concerned, there were quite a number of other issues, that things that was mentioned. We have to, we can use some of the natural remedies, but stress management, helps to regulate cortisol. So we have to manage our stress. And if you are having difficulty managing the stress in isolation, I would recommend that you find someone who you can speak freely to, in order to figure out strategies, or ways of doing this. At one point, I remember getting a call from someone who was literally crying, and this person was saying, I wish someone had told me about the things that I would experience when I'm going through menopause. And this person was saying, I get up, I don't want to go to work. I go to work, I don't want to go home, and I don't want to do anything. And it's just crazy how people experienced this. And she was saying, I wish my parents would have talked about things like these. So having a forum like this is also an outlet. Joining a forum, educating yourself as to how to deal with this. So stress management is important, because cortisol, as was pointed out earlier in the presentation, that cortisol can increase your blood sugar level because it blocks your cell membrane. And if your cell membrane is blocked, then you're going to find that your insulin cannot go in, therefore it will not bring the glucose level, and your glucose stay high, and that can disrupt your sleep. Your blood pressure can stay high. This can cause palpitation. It can wreak so much havoc within our body. And we were given quite a number of different ways that we can calm ourselves, so that we can sleep. We can sleep effectively. So those are some of the variables, and we can talk about sleep hygiene. This is very, very important, that we practice a routine when we go to sleep. So temperature management, we need to keep the bedroom between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is one of the single most important environmental factor. A cool room that will counteract night sweat and trigger and trigger these sweats. So it's use a fan. Some people might not have air condition in hot countries. You could use a fan, and this will help to cool the room down. So it's very, very important. You use breathable cotton for your bedding material, and wear, cool material for sleeping. And this is important. Consistent sleep schedule. So you must make sure you manage the temperature in your bedroom. You must have a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, including weekends, not just during the week. This anchor the circadian rhythm, which is disrupted during menopause. Because remember, your melatonin level goes up in the evening and goes down in the day. So if you anchor this circadian rhythm, which is disrupted during this phase of our life, within 2 to 3 weeks, the body remain in sleep. It remains in that sleep timing, and you have that set and under control. Another thing we must take care of when we're going to sleep is light management. Exposing yourself to bright natural light within 30 minutes of waking up. So when you wake up, as was pointed out, you must expose yourself to natural life and light, and this will set your circadian rhythm and clock within your body. So a block of light in the bedroom at nights, even small amount light suppresses melatonin production. So any kind of light in your bedroom, you can use different strategies. If you have to share a room, you could put on one of those night thing that you cover your eyes where no light seeps in, or make sure that no TV light, no kind of light, no plug-in light, no kind of lights is you're exposed to, because it definitely disrupt the production of melatonin, and it can cause you to have disrupted sleep. So light management, and we have blue light restriction. Stop all screens, phone, tablets, TV should never be in your bedroom. Put them in the bathroom, put them somewhere else where you are not inclined to have them wake you up. At least 60 to 90 minutes before bed, blue light suppresses melatonin and signal the brain to stay alert. So you don't want to have those light. You can't be scrolling on TikTok or anywhere before you go to sleep. You don't want a television on in your ears when you're trying to sleep. It's none of those work. It really disrupt your sleep. And while you're trying to sleep, you need to practice good light hygiene. Your nutrition during the evening, dinner early, by 6 or 7, a magnesium-rich plant-based evening snack, pumpkin seed, as was pointed out, hemp seed relaxes muscle and support melatonin production, and that set the tone for sleeping. And we could also have the herbal sleep ritual where we have 30 minutes pre-sleep. We can have herbal tea. We can have soursop leaf, valerian, and the list goes on. We have a host of them that was stated. We can do our breathing exercise, just trying to set the tone for falling asleep, and that ritual trains the brain to associate these activities with sleep. And we need to avoid all caffeine. So no caffeine, no chocolate tea, no any of those things. They will not support sleep. So you want to maintain herbal teas that will definitely support sleep. And I am going to pause on that heading, um, where sleep hygiene is concerned. I could also point out the lavender. We could also do the oil infusion. Lavender is one oil, chamomile is another, and I personally like juniper. I find juniper as an oil that really support, sleeping. I infuse these oil in the room when I'm about to go to sleep, and they definitely support deep breathing. And after deep breathing, within, after a couple, after 10 or less than 10, I just pass out into sleeping. And I'm sure if you try those could work for you. So those are just some of the strategies that we can implement. There are many more lifestyle practices that we could do that will support sleep, but I will just pause at this for temperance sake so that we can move on to questioning and we could get right into the next phase of our presentation. Thank you very much. You're mute, Courtney.
That's put, oh, see, she's taking over my job. You see that, family, right? Put a thumbs up in the chat if you appreciate the information, the knowledge that has been shared, and that you will you're going to integrate them into your lifestyle. They are here and they can share. We're going to share their information. When you get a chance, ladies, just put your information in the chat so that individuals who want to do a consult or want to know more about what you do, they can get in touch with you. So ladies, thank you for that vast information. Thank you, Sister Sonia. You need to be unmuted, Sister Sonia, for the information on the causes. It affects, menopause affects sleep itself. Thank you, Sister Sonia, on the remedies that the walking especially, there is no medication for walking. You cannot take a medication for walking. You have to just do it, family. You need to do it, and it creates dopamine. So if you want to feel good and get a natural high, start doing some walking. And thank you, Sister Dr. Brown, for just expanding and bringing everything together. And so we are here now to answer your question. Raise your hand, right? And we're going to unmute you. And even if you cannot raise your hand, just unmute yourself, and we will take according to the first person that raised their hand or the person who is on mute. We will answer your question. So over to you. So we have Sister Colleen. Go ahead, Sister Colleen. We're going to unmute you. You should be able to unmute. Go ahead. You should be able to unmute. Go ahead, Sister
Yes,
Colleen.
good morning. Thank you so much for that great presentation. My question is, when taking supplements at night, when is the best time to take them? Because I take valerian root, but I realize that sometimes I take it like 9 o'clock. I'm not sure if that's too late.
Well, I think it depends on the time you're going to bed. If you're taking it to support sleep, I think 1 hour is a good time to take it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next question. Ladies, you should be fighting over the unmute button. Okay, perhaps you don't know how to unmute. Are we able to? Let me see if you're able to unmute. Mute. Hello, participant. Okay, so my apologies. You are able to unmute if you don't know where your hand is. Sister Veronica, go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead, Sister Veronica.
I'm going to attempt to go ahead, Sister Kareen. I hear you.
No, go ahead. No, somebody, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We got to come up with a name for these ladies because I don't know if we want to call them triple threat or what. But great. I love this team that has gathered for over the, I don't know, I want to say almost a year. Anywho, I'm going to ask one question for now, and that is, I'm kind of trying to figure it out what to do with time being so limited. You want to walk outside. You want to walk out in the sunlight. But many times, especially in the winter, by the time that is, you should have been 3 other places. So I'm wondering, I guess perhaps the best thing is walk no matter what time, as long as you get it in. But I'm trying to maximize the time with the activity. So I was wondering, because I don't even know if I think I might miss the sun altogether if I wait. But I think it might be more important to just walk first thing in the morning, after devotion or before devotion, and just walk then. And then, with the weights, I was thinking, and instead of doing, what's that word? Instead of having doing those weight exercises separately, walk with like a frozen water bottle in each hand, or a weight if you have it, or I have those I don't know, I remember how many pounds they are, but they kind of wrap around your ankle and you can wrap them around your hand. So walk with those. I'm hoping that that's a good combo. Got your walk, and hopefully that counts for strength exercises, Sister Tanya, maybe.
It does.
Praise God. Now, but I cannot get that time with the sun. I'm trying, and I thought first thing in the morning, even before sunrise, I thought that I don't know if it's not grounding, but there's something in the air at that time that's like almost like an antioxidant. But I forgot what it's called because I wasn't going to raise my hand, so I'm not formulated. But I thought walking first thing like at sunrise or before sunrise does something amazing for you that maybe might, it's like you can't go wrong. I'm like, well, I'll just have to be happy with getting that than getting the sun. I mean, what to do? Do you understand the dilemma I'm trying to figure out? Do I wait for the sun? Or do I just do it at sunrise? Or I just got to find out another way to get the sun. I'm gonna do. I got the walking with the exercise, but I'm always torn of when to go. And then before you know it, the day's over. And then you're forced to walk inside, which is not really the best, but it's better than nothing. So, thoughts on that?
You want me to jump in quickly?
Whoever would like to stab at it, if whoever understands my problem.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tanya. I'm gonna let you go first. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to quickly say, Veronica, you have to do what you have to do, and it's really good that you realize, okay, how important it is. You're looking for the daylight, and that daylight helps to reset the circadian rhythm. So it then shuts down the melatonin because you're up and moving around. So that even though the sun is not up, but the daylight itself helps to reset that system. So you want to, and of course, if it's the winter, yes, the sun may not come up at the time you want to, but then that's when we will then rely a little bit on the supplement during the winter months to help us. But then you're indoors and you actually can move as well too. So that's good. But that circadian rhythm just to balance that system is crucial.
So walking in the early morning, even before sunrise.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, in the summertime, I more so tend to do it then, because if you wait till that little sun get there, you might depending on the temperature of the day, you might not make the length of time you'd like to walk. So okay, we got that time. And then the other thing was, is this helpful or not? Because I think you, Sister Sonia, mentioned it, that walking will help your rest. But then I thought I had learned that if you walk, that there's some problem with walking too close to bedtime. And I don't know why we got that feedback, but is that a problem, or am I recalling, or is there some highlight on that as far as walking close to bedtime? Because I know that after I walk, I could go straight to bed afterwards. It's very relaxing. But then, is it true that walking too close to bedtime can be a problem? Thank you, and I'm gonna stop there.
Now, I personally, I have not looked into, if there's a effect as far as walking too close to bedtime, but I can tell you on a personal note, I have walked probably an hour or two before my bedtime, and when I come home and then I take a shower, I sleep like a baby. I don't have any problems with the sleeping, so I know for me, it works well. And then I just want to jump back to what you said earlier about, finding the time. And I just want to make this comment. You know, we as human beings, we can find time to do anything we want to do. We really can. We really can. We find time to do things that we prioritize. That's more than our health sometimes. So we just got to do it. I mean, you just got to, you're just going to have to start rearranging your calendar and just get it done because it can be done. Because I notice, people, I always make this statement. I say, people do what they want to do, which is so true. So you can find the time to do it. You just got to discipline yourself to do it.
Prioritize. Yeah,
That's it.
prioritize.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I also want to suggest that at this point we need to create a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I recommend
Amen.
to
Yep.
everyone is to create a schedule that will work. So, something that you can follow, something that is reasonable to you, and use it. You don't have a problem working out in the evening and falling asleep. That works for you.
Right.
So you create a schedule around that to
That's it.
make sure that you get everything that will support your health and well-being in the day, in one day. So create that schedule and follow it so that you're not all over the place doing this time, this that time. It keeps the structure and it keeps you going. Yeah, I would recommend that.
Thank you so much. That is exactly what I've been praying for and trying to do. I have like this list of all the things I need to do in a day. And I told myself, Lord, help me prioritize this so that I'm prioritizing you first, getting my quote unquote work things done, but also remembering I have to do things for my health. I have to do this at this time. I have to stop at this time to do that. And I've just been praying that I have a consistent routine. And at first I thought, are you being so OCD, Veronica? You don't have to do that. It's just you're making another excuse, Veronica. But it's true. I function personally, I function better under like structure and routine. And once I got that down, then I can be a little bit more loose with it. But until I have it down, I really have to be, on time. I'm an alarm person. I like, setting reminders and stuff. So thank you. I appreciate that. And please keep that in prayer because I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I know that I am one and I need all the prayer I can get. Thank you.
You're welcome, Sister Veronica. So we are gonna stop. Oh
Let me
wow.
stop. I got my
We
question.
we are
We have
wait
questions
wait
in the chat.
wait
What's
family.
your question?
Wait, family, wait. We have we can't answer all. If we decide to answer all the questions, we'll be here until next year, right? And so I'm just gonna raise. See, so there was an hand raised. Sister Carlene, please make one question, please, because remember they can post their information in the chat and you can reach out to them directly. And so as they wait, please, ladies, please put your information in chat and you have the privilege of calling them and even texting them and even the group that we have. And I'm going to ask the tech team to put the group information in the chat so you can join the group and whatever question you might have, you can share it there. So even if you don't get it answer here, you can share it in the chat. So we have Sister Carlene that and that Mike was on mute before Sister Natalie. So we're gonna take Sister Carlene, then we're gonna take Sister Natalie, then we're gonna see Sister Karen, and then we can follow up with I think Sister Sonia already make the answer the question that was in the chat. All right, go ahead, Sister Carlene.
Yes, I really enjoyed the presentations and wished each speaker had spoken a little longer. But I understand. I was having health issues, but I didn't know what was wrong with me until I went to see Dr. Brown and I realized I have hyperthyroidism. Prior to that, my husband, used to tell me I was snoring. And he even taped me, and I just couldn't believe it's me. So is snoring related to menopause or hypothyroidism? Which one? Or I don't know.
Anya, you touched on that. I'll let you touch on that because you touched on that earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Go
snoring
ahead.
is it could be it could be for a number of different things. So it doesn't necessarily it is not necessarily menopause. It's not necessarily
You're breaking up Dr. Brown. Can someone help out Dr. Brown until she gets back on answering that question, please?
Just quickly by saying, can you hear me? That the hormones, estrogen and progesterone, they will have a direct impact on the airflow of the body. So,